Alright guys, what is going on, and welcome to the 50,000 Q&A video! So without any further ado, let's get into it. First question we have is a Zombie Yellow 11. He says, how many hours you got on your logbook? I have 50.4 hours. Tongue face. Let me actually go check. Alright, so I found it. Here's my logbook right here. A little beaten up. It's been through a lot. This is my baby. Mwah. I'll show you guys all all the things in it. I won't show you like close up. I'll just show you kind of like 1 page of flights, 2 pages, a lot of flights. And this is where I stopped. There is my sign off on my private license. Pretty cool. Started AF201B, which is commercial stuff. 60.2 or 61.3, either or. So 61, we'll just call it 60 hours of pure flight time. Next up, George Throp says, if you could fly one plane and only that plane, which plane would you choose? Okay, so I'm gonna kind of put away the new stuff, man. But there's so many planes to choose from. There's like the Warbirds, then there's like the SU Flanker, or like the Flankers, the SU-29s. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm gonna go with my gut here and just say I would love to fly a A6 M20. I would love to have that aircraft. So the next question is Sir Blake. Dear Fly, here are the 4 questions nobody dares to ask. Have you ever stolen anything? Yes, I have stolen a squishy ball from the IMAX theater, and I had the cops called on me when my family was there, but I was only 9 years old, so they let me go. But long story short, the cops came and stuff, were talking to me, and were asking me why I took it and stuff. And my story was, I didn't know you had to buy for them, because it was legitimate, because in the front of the theater, there was a bowl of them, and they were Earth squishy balls. You know, kind of like, you know, you just squish them around like stress relievers. And there wasn't anything that you had to buy, but under the bowl, like kind of like, there's like a lip of the bowl, it says $4 for these things. I didn't see that, so I took one. But longer story short, the cops were called. I talked to my dad, and I was so worried. The only thing I was worried about was not being grounded, but was being grounded from the computer. And the thing I wanted to do on the computer that night was RuneScape. And so I was like, Dad, can I still play RuneScape tonight? And he was like, no, son, you're grounded. And I was like, no! I hope you guys understood that story. It was a while back. Alright, the other one is, have you ever used drugs? I have never done hard drugs, cocaine, heroin, any kind of opiates, PSP, god damn it, PlayStation, get out of here, PCP, DMT, what's the other one, ecstasy. I've never done any of those. I have done marijuana. When I was a junior in high school, I used to sell marijuana at a prep school, but no one really knows that. Third question, have you ever cheated on your ex-girlfriend? I have never cheated on any girlfriend I've ever had. 4, how often do you masturbate? So when Laura's not here, it's a good, maybe like once every 2 days. Good velocity, but when she's not here, I really don't, you know what I'm saying. Alright, the Sanguine Spirit says, who started your love for Matt Damon? So Matt Damon came through, I think it manifested itself by itself. So what that means is that I think we started the Matt Damon off with the Warcraft 3 thing. I used to enter the TS, and I used to be like, job's done, you know, just kind of like that, messing around. And all of a sudden, I think one of us or me said Matt Damon, and it was like wildfire. Everyone on the TS started saying it, and like whenever someone derped around or had a derp moment, they're like, oh, and we all be like, Matt Damon. The Wolfie Hun says, what was the best moment on your YouTube channel before this? By the way, good job for 50,000 subs. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Probably the most memorable moment before 50,000 subscribers is me hitting 777 subscribers. And I remember that because I was just playing War Thunder one day. That was like my first month of YouTube. I was, you know, putting out maybe one video every 2 days and stuff. And I left my YouTube up with like 769 followers or subscribers, and I pressed refresh and I gained 8 in like an hour, and I was like, whoa, you know. So like when I was that small, I kind of opened my eyes to how fast this thing could grow and stuff, and it was really a memorable moment before 50,000 for me. Fokker 21, I believe, says, are you ever going to be able to pronounce German words in the right way? I don't think so. The German language, or any kind of deep H language, the ha, and like, you know, in the English language, at least here in America, we're very lazy on our I mean, like, we pronounce words correctly, but we kind of drag it on, especially being in the South. You know, we have a draw. Now, I'm not really Southern because I've been around, you know, I used to live in New York, Chicago, Florida, so I'm kind of like a mutt of, you know what a mutt is? Like a dog that has been mixed, so it has many different qualities in it. So I'm just comparing my accent to a mutt because I'm kind of monotone compared to like a Chicago accent, a New York, and a Florida. You know, Florida is very mutt as well, but here in the South, we drag it on, so we're nice and slow and relaxed. And with the German language, it's very, you don't use those muscles, so it's very hard to get stuff right, and like Hochgeschwindigkeit and stuff. Like, and I bet there's very hard words out there that I couldn't even think about pronouncing. But I mean, Fokker, I'll try. It's gonna be hard. It will take speech therapy for me to learn German, just because I've never ever experienced that type of muscle memory my whole entire life. Mr. Stan 3 says, how long have you and Baron known each other? Probably about 2 years, 2.5 years. I think I don't know who contacted who first, probably me, but our channels were small. We had about 2,500 subscribers, and we're like, yo man, let's play some War Thunder. I see that you play War Thunder, I play War Thunder, let's play War Thunder. And we used to play arcade battle together. It was so much fun back in the day because we were still noobs. We're having new experiences in War Thunder, and you can check some of those videos out in my if you just search it, I guess, maybe Baron and PhlyDaily in the YouTube search, but they're really great videos. And he says, are you close friends in real life or just in the YouTube community? I would say that we would be close friends in real life if we actually spend time together in real life. I met up with Baron in Charlotte, North Carolina for about 3 days when he was on a business conference, and that was a lot of fun. We slept in the same bed, and he was really uncomfortable, and I was like, yo bro, chill dog. Baron put a pillow in between us because he didn't trust me, you know. Baba Black Sheep says, will you ever play with Robos on War Thunder or ask to play with him? So I would love to play with Robos, but Robos is a solo gamer. As you see on his YouTube channel, he really doesn't collaborate with many people because that's just his style. But I would love to play with him, but I'm not going to pester him to play with me. The Mighty Raptor 14 says, who is your inspiration to do YouTube? So it's a long list of YouTubers who I've kind of looked up to. Some of the biggest ones are Frankie on the PC, Robos, who's the other one? C-Nanners. But a lot of the YouTubers now, like High Flyer, Baron, Sherman, Jingles, a lot of the YouTubers who were with me when I was small have also inspired me to become of what my channel is today, if that makes sense. So yeah. Your Average Gamer Canada says, if you could learn another language instantly, what would it be? Okay, easy. Chinese, German, or Russian. Those would be awesome to learn. Dubhead Spartan says, what was your favorite video game as a kid? So I don't know if any of you guys heard of the Empire Earth series, but the Empire Earth 1 with the Space Edition, where you could like colonize planets and shit, was one of my favorite games ever, and I've been trying to get that to work on my Windows 8 computer for probably about 3 years now, but I can't. I used to wake up early in the morning, play that game for literally all day. I used to have weak conquests in that game. I used to put 8v8, make them on, you know, medium to hard difficulty, and I would just fight for a whole week to win the battle. And we would start at the caveman ages and work our way all the way up to the space age, and it was just a phenomenal game. I love that game a lot. Majestic Chrono Shot says, are you a pilot? Yes, I am a pilot. I'm a private pilot rated in a single engine land, 110 horsepower, nothing above 200, no tail dragger, no complex aircraft. So very simple license, but it's pretty cool because when I'm older, I plan to use it as a hobby, to where I can just, like, you know, have a farm field or have like my own personal plane where I can go fly out every Sunday and kind of just tour some small areas of the country in my aircraft. So MLG Orange Juice asks, if you were drafted into the Air Force in World War II and you could choose which plane you flew, which would you choose? So I'm going to use the Air Force as the Luftwaffe, the Royal Air Force, just any kind of plane I want to choose, just because he didn't really give a set parameters for this question. But honestly, I would want to fly the Yak 3P, the I-815 prototype, the Yak 9T, the Yak 9K. Yeah, those are, I'm just kidding, guys. So if I had a choice to be drafted in the Air Force, World War II, and you could choose which plane you flew, I would probably pick the Me-262. Now, that's taken into account that I would just want to fly it for the pure technology and revolutionary technology in that plane, not as much as I would say for the beliefs of the Nazi party, etc. Rick Dubbink says, how do you meet another big channels like Baron Von Games and Sherman? So in YouTube, like, there's like communities of like YouTubers, and many of those YouTubers met when they were very small. And that's like one of the, if you guys are up and coming channels, I suggest you just get a really good YouTube friend and you work with each other to make content every day or every week. And sooner or later, you know, if you do it right and if you plan correctly, you'll become bigger channels like me, Baron, and Sherman. Now, we're not the biggest channels, but we're working to do it, or to grow successfully and ethically, to where we're all happy, if you guys know what I'm saying. So Christopher Moore says, were you always confident or did you have to work on it? So that's probably one of my favorite questions, this whole Q&A, just because I have always been a confident person, in the sense of just like, you know, I'm comfortable with myself. People can call me names, I really don't care. I got bullied. No, it's okay. So I was always funny coming up. Like I was a funny dude throughout elementary school and stuff. And I would get picked on because I have a stutter. You guys can kind of see that sometimes. There you go. See, I'll stammer my words when I get kind of excited or pumped up and stuff. And so I always used to throw it off and make a joke out of it. And that's how I kind of got out of being bullied and stuff. More onto the sense of, did you have to work on it? So being confident with YouTube is always going to be challenging. You're talking to yourself. You know, you don't know how people are going to take it. It takes a while. I'm still working on this day to become more confident in front of the camera. You guys can see me looking away and stuff. You know, I'm kind of nervous right now. But as you work on it and stuff, it gets a lot easier. And hopefully it will become second nature, like some YouTubers seem to have it. Like, I don't know, just some vloggers can just talk for hours and just not have any ums or you know, moments. But yeah, it's definitely, you have to work on it, but it comes with practice. So Victor Charlie asks, what is your worst injury you've ever had besides the thumb a few months ago? Here's my thumb. It's actually looking pretty good if the camera focuses. There you go. See that little scar right there? Thank you, camera. You're the best. So what is your worst injury you've ever had besides the thumb a few months ago? So I've picked positions in, you know, sports where I don't really get injured. I was a goalie in soccer or football, where you really don't get hurt, but you can. Being a keeper is very dangerous sometimes. And I was a kicker in college, so I really didn't get hit too much. But I have a little story for you guys. So when I was in college, we were about to play NC State at Cardinal Finley, and that's a huge stadium. It seats about 70,000 people, so it was crazy. Anyway, so long story short, me and my roommates are having a dorm room party on the second floor of this dorm, and the RA comes, and we have all these beer bottles around. And we're like, all right, yeah, we're coming to answer the door, and it's clink, 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 because we're trying to clean up before he comes in. And he goes, all right, I hear those bottles, I'm calling the police. So me and Devin, my long snapper, are like, fuck. You know, if we get caught, we're not only going to get a drinking ticket because we're underage, we're going to not be able to go to the NC State game, which is, you know, it's awesome. 68,000 people watching you is going to be crazy. So this girl named Lexi, who's from New York, she was like, you know, in a New York accent, she was like, fuck this. She opens the window and she jumps out of she like busts the screen out. She jumps out, she lands perfectly, and then Devin jumps out and like lands and rolls like James Bond. And first of all, I'm scared of heights. You know, I don't like being up high without any control, like in an airplane, because, you know, airplane I can control and, you know, alter the, you know, whatever. Me being a drunk bastard at the time, I jump out. Okay, so this is the concrete, and here's my feet. Like, they went like this, you know, and like rolled and stuff and got away. I, being the drunk ass, went like this, landed straight leg on my heels, and I was like, oh, like death scream. I like bit my tongue, my tooth. I didn't bite my tooth. I bit my tongue and, like, you know, cracked a tooth in the back. Hobbled over to my friends, and we all got away. Everyone else who didn't jump got a drinking ticket. But anyways, so we were able to go to the state game. Where I'm going with this story is that I hurt my heel, my right heel, and I swear that it was a stress fracture in it. Like, there was a crack in my bone. And for the next, I didn't want to go to the doctor, because if I went to the doctors, I would have been put like on the injured list, so I couldn't go to NC State. So for the next week, I was tiptoeing on my right leg across campus, and when so the coaches do a last check before we get on the bus, so they all kind of watch us onto the bus, make sure we don't have any alcohol or, you know, any kind of stuff we're not supposed to have, and kind of make sure that we're able to like walk and stuff, you know. So I had to walk past my coaches with this like fractured heel of mine, like normally, to get on the bus, and I did it, and I went. You know, I was redshirted at the time, so I didn't play, but all my friends were in the stadium. They were like cheering my name. It was a really great time. But yeah, so the heel, the stress fracture heel, I think that I never got a cast on or any type of pain medicine or anything, has to be one of the worst injuries ever. Great question, Victor. Great question. Sam O'Donnell, what made you want to start uploading on YouTube? So that's a really good question, and I think the answer is because most of my family, actually all of my family almost, are artists. My grandpa did art for Kellogg's. He did art for Joe DiMaggio. Pretty fucking cool. My grandma Midge was a oil painter. Now, my mom was not an artist to my knowledge. My sister's an artist. My aunt is an artist. My dad is an architect. And so I don't really have any kind of brain to fingers to pen knowledge of how to like draw. Like, my dad could draw 3D when he was like 8, you know, and I just don't have that. And I think how the art gene in my family manifested itself into me is by creativities in videos. So if you guys look at my channel right now, I'm doing gameplays and stuff because that's more fun for me, but I used to do pretty intense montages of, like, you know, and I think that's how I expressed myself in an artful way, and I wanted other people to see it and, you know, get feedback on it. So that's how I think I started uploading to YouTube. Sean Quaid says, when playing D1 college football, what was your best moment / memorable moment ever? It was definitely walking into the NC State stadium with like 68,000 fans all cheering and stuff. You know, they weren't cheering for us because we were the away team, but it was still amazing. There was like, they're just like, people were looking at you and stuff. But anyways, when you know, I was redshirted, so I wasn't playing that game, but I still dressed, still had my cleats and stuff, and they allowed me to practice before the game started. So everyone, all the players were like in the locker rooms, you know, getting ready, getting pep talked and all that stuff. And I was trying to burp, and I was, you know, out there, you know, I had nothing to do. So I asked the coach if I can go kick for a little bit on the field. He said, yeah, that's fine. And so I set up my field goal tee and my balls at about 40 yards, 45 yards. And I made all of my 40s. So I kicked 3 40s, and I made all those 40s. And every time my ball went through the uprights, because like they were like, because I was the only one on the field, you know, everyone was watching me, and every time the ball went into the field, the uprights, everyone was like, boo, you suck, and etc. So then I went to 45, and I missed one out of the 45 ranges, and so I made my first one, they booed. I made my second one, they booed, and then my last one I missed, and the whole stadium cheered like, yeah, he missed it. It was crazy. All right, so Baron Von Games asks, what would you say you most best do least? What would you say you most best do least? Okay, so what thing do I do awesome that I don't do enough? Probably volunteer. Man, I got really deep right there. I don't volunteer enough, but I'm a good volunteer. I used to volunteer at a cat shelter all the time to help little cats out and feed them and pet them and call them Baba. I miss Baba a lot. That's my cat. She lives with Laura right now because my tenant doesn't like to have cats in the house because he has a hunting dog and it wouldn't be a good mix. But great question, Baron. You try to trick me with that crazy riddle. Dino1238 says, how pumped are you for Wargaming's World of Ships? Oh! Jamount says, is that France? Francais? France? Vous parlez? All right, guys, my mom used to speak French, so I have some French in me. Comment allez-vous? Tout appelle comment? I don't really know what that means. You know, comment allez-vous? Like, what's your name? Tout appelle? Well, I don't know. But she used to speak to me a lot in French and sing me lullabies and etc. But he says, how long do you take to edit your videos? Well, nowadays it doesn't take me as long as it used to because I do more gameplays and stuff. Some videos like the Arma 3, you know, drug run series took me probably about, you know, 40 minutes each to edit. But I used to have these reviews, and I might link it in the description below, but they took me 30 hours to edit. It's intense. Some of those, what are they called? Release tree videos took me about 10 to 15 hours to create, just because I have to look up all the planes, research them, know what I'm talking about to an extent, and then put it all together and re-edit, double check, triple check to make sure there's no errors. So it can vary, but right now probably about an hour each video at the most. Eddie Dave says, why is your room so messy? Because I pay rent, and I don't give a fuck. Sparkle Stone Bro says, hey Fly, I was wondering what your current stance is on War Thunder. I really don't care anymore. Daniel Waddell says, is YouTube and streaming difficult? Yes and no. YouTube and streaming can be very enjoyable if you do it right and you have a schedule and you don't stress yourself out. With YouTube being difficult, you have to always be adaptive. Because if you keep uploading the same stuff every week or every day, like custom battle, 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 it will get annoying. It will get annoying for me to even like edit it, you know? So it's one of the hardest things in YouTube to do is to adapt and find new roads to take with your fans to make them happy and stuff. So what that means is, you know, upload a custom battle, upload an FRB, upload a Hunger Games video. I don't know if you guys really like that, but you know, I like playing on turns sometimes. Upload an Arma 3 video, etc. So you gotta keep adapting. Streaming is difficult right now because I am making this video as I'm supposed to be streaming. So it's hard to keep an absolute schedule sometimes. And I'm a man of my word. I love to keep my word, but sometimes, you know, you have obligations that you have to do other than streaming, and you know, kind of annoys you sometimes. Also, streaming is difficult because sometimes you're not in the mood to stream. You're not in the, you know, it's not that great of a day, and so with that, you got to make a decision. Am I going to act on the stream and be happy, or am I just going to call the stream off and be like, hey guys, I'm not feeling too well today. I'm going to take a break from streaming for today. Hope you guys understand, which I usually do sometimes because I don't really like to be fake in front of you guys. I like to be genuine and have fun. Because when you're fake, you know, no, people can tell, in my opinion. Or at least I can tell when people are faking it. Nick the Boss Hoss says, would you ever give up the YouTube and Twitch to do your dream job, or would you stick with us Rugrats? So right now, Twitch and YouTube is my dream job, and I'm giving this about 2.5, maybe 3 years at the most for it to be a stable income to where I can raise a family of 2. You know, nothing like $1 million a year, but you know, a decent living to where I can, you know, pay the bills, put money away for savings, etc. And if that doesn't happen, I'll just say, you know, hey guys, today I'm stopping my stream schedule and YouTube's upload schedule. I'll upload maybe like once a month or once a week, but I would probably go back to school for another 2 years and get a commercial license to fly for a living, or I would get a degree in video design and hopefully create trailers for movies for a living, which would be awesome as well. Nick said, if you could any advice to an aspiring pilot and an aspiring YouTube / streamer, what would it be? Passion. Passion, 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 passion. I can't say it enough. So I used to love flying. I still do love flying. But with becoming a pilot, you're basically a glorified truck driver. You know, granted, if you're going to be a military, you know, fighter pilot, you're a little bit different. But you fly to point A to point B, 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 point A to point B. Which is awesome if you have a passion for it. You know what I'm saying? Like a passion, it doesn't matter how the job is. If you have a passion for it, it doesn't matter. You love what you do. And you can say that about YouTube / streaming. You record, edit, upload, record, edit, upload, record, edit, upload. It's repetitive. Every job's repetitive. But it doesn't matter if it's repetitive if you have passion for it. Passion negates everything bad about a job to where it makes it enjoyable for you, if you guys know what I'm saying. So what I would want you to get out of this question is that have passion for what you do, understand passion. I thought I had passion for flying, but then I saw myself editing videos more and more, engaging in the community, aka YouTube, and I found out that I had a passion for this and I loved flying. So I took this route. A Mexican Squid says, what are your headphones and do you like them? So these are actually very old headphones. These are about, wow, 6 years old. I went to Amsterdam for spring break about 6 years ago, and I got these at the airport in the European currencies, euros. They are Panasonic's RPHT-X7s. So really good headphones. I mean, the padding's coming off them a little bit, but I'm about to order a new pair. $35. Like, come on. Last me forever. And they're so comfortable. I mean, I have semi-big ears. I mean, not really that big ears, but they fit perfectly into these. I highly recommend you guys getting some of these. They're awesome. Thomas Podaki, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. How did you meet Sherman? I think I met Sherman through Baron. I think Sherman is like the Men of War dude. He's really good at Men of War. So Baron's like, yo man, come play Men of War. I was like, but I don't want to. And then he's like, yo, come play, man. And so I played, and I think I met Sherman through a Men of War game. Honestly, great guy, big asshole, just like me though. Ape Max says, where did PhlyDaily come from? Congrats on 50K subs, by the way. So before PhlyDaily, or the channel PhlyDaily, became a gaming channel, it used to be a aviation hub where I used to go to websites and, you know, kind of rip videos of, like, I don't know, cool air shows, news on the XB-47, like the unmanned carrier plane. I used to upload cool videos like F-16s refueling and stuff, you know, just that. And then I started playing video games. Like, man, why can't I just upload some of this content to my PhlyDaily channel along with some of my aviation news that I do? And then I was just like, you know, hell, I'll make it a gaming channel. So I deleted all my aviation stuff from the past, and I started playing War Thunder. And as you guys can go look at, my oldest video is me playing War Thunder with the P26 with joystick in arcade versus BF-109s, matchmaking for the win. When did you meet your girlfriend and where? By the way, try to read my name. Igor. Motors. Wow. I don't do the R and Z together much. No. No. The closest Z we use in America is zoo. Mordrzewski. Huh? 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 That's not bad. He says, where did you meet your girlfriend? And where? Oh, when. Excuse me, I can't read. When did you meet your girlfriend? I met Laura. Oh my goodness gracious. Laura May. 8 years ago? She used to go to my high school with me. She was just a little hot little girl, you know. She's a small, but she was always hot. She always had a boyfriend and stuff. So I couldn't spit game or nothing. But I always had my eye on her all the time, always had my eyes on her. And so I went away to college for 1 year, and then she went away to or she stayed at home and went to college close by to her. And then so I was in Chicago at the time doing flight stuff, and she actually messaged me. She goes, "Hey Steve, what's up?" And then so we started talking and stuff, you know. Then we started Skyping a little bit, and then I said, "Hey, what about I fly you up to Chicago and we'll spend a weekend together?" And she goes, "Oh, okay." So she arrived in Chicago, and the rest is history. And that was about 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't remember anymore. But yeah, so that's kind of how we met. We fell in love in Chicago. Oh. All right, so the last but not least question by any standard, Laura Henshaw asks us, how did you get your cat and how did you come up with the name Baba? So me and Laura lived with me at my house in Carbondale, Illinois, Southern Illinois University. I went to go study for aviation. And I was looking for a cat for probably about 3 weeks and stuff, you know, kind of going on Craigslist, looking at shelters. And I shit you not, this girl came up to us and says, "Hey, I found this cat. Do you want it?" And Piper, or this cat was Piper. Her real name's Piper, after like the Piper Cub, the aircraft. And she was horrible. She was like maybe 3 months old, bone, but like ribs out. You know, you could feel her ribs, every single rib, you could feel it. Her hair was coarse, very not a smooth coat. So we knew that she has not been eating correctly. She's been eating like old food, garbage, you know, staying alive somehow, eating grass, you know. And then so we're like, I looked at Laura and we fucking fell in love with the cat. She would come up to us and stuff. She would, you know, we would tap our finger on the ground and she would come up right to that finger and kind of nudge it and stuff. And then so we put her on a little bit of some, you know, meow mix, some very high fat, high nutrition food to get her started. And the first day we had her, she slept for probably about 12 hours in our room. And I don't think she's had a good sleep for a long time because she was probably outside in the cold for hours and, you know, having to run away from predators and stuff, climbing trees. She was a very exhausted cat. And then so she's a feral cat. So you know what feral is, just kind of like a cat that has been born outside, is raised outside, it doesn't really know what humans are yet. So she came up to us, she accepted us, and after a while we started giving her proper food. We cleaned her coat, we got the fleas out, we got her fixed, we basically took care of her for a little bit, and we adopted her as our own. Now Laura, and we talk about this to this day, Laura did not like Piper at first. She's like, "Oh, she's so loud, oh my gosh." And I was like, "Laura, give it time, okay?" And so I went to away for field training, which was an ROTC thing. Every year we went to go shoot guns and stuff, you know, get trained on how to like survive. And she cuddled with Laura under the covers, and that's what made Laura fall in love with Piper. One of my best cats I've ever had or will ever have. And then she says, "How did you come up with the name Baba?" I have no fucking idea. Like, I don't know. She has a ton of names: Baba, Zababa, Deborah, Jiba, Nimakai, Tutu, Nini, Jama. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, that's it with the questions. I am done. We have answered 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I can't even count anymore. There's too many browser tabs open. I do appreciate everything you guys have given me in sense of support and feedback. This has been awesome. Yeah, peace out, guys.